On today's episode of Fly Hacks, we are going to be talking about the deterring qualities of stank and also tying a fly called the horse of a different color. As much as I would like to talk about metal ion binding sites, we don't have the time. Your hands have oil. Flavors and scent can be extracted through oil or alcohol. The scent from your food can be combined with the oils in your hands, thus creating food flavored oil that you are adding to your fly. If someone puts a T-bone steak in front of me and the T-bone steak smells like apple pie, I am going to take pause and wonder, why does this delicious looking T-bone steak smell like a delicious apple pie? I think that fish have somewhat the same kind of response that humans do when it comes to just processing of the brain. It's food. It's the most important part of all of our lives. When you're using soap, you want to stay away from anything that has any added moisturizers in it, because those moisturizers are oil based and you're just adding oil back to your hands, so it's pointless to use those. Glycerin soaps will remove most of the oils from your hands, but the fragrance itself is oil. Which is why I use pine tar soap. Pine tar soap is really cool because the byproduct is your hands smell like trees. And I'm pretty sure that's not a deterrent for anything. And it's overlooked by a lot of people, so keep your hands very clean when you're eating. Wash your hands after you eat when you get back to the desk. They say they have the hands of a pianist. The horse of a different color was designed to cast color shadows. It may sound crazy to you, it sounds crazy to me, but sometimes I feel crazy, and that's okay for me to feel crazy. And my therapist says I should embrace it. The horse of a different color is a pretty easy fly to tie. I'm going to start off with a Tiemco 2487 size 16 hook with a 3/32 or 2.4 millimeter bead. You can use the exact same materials to tie an 18. It gets a little weird when you try to tie a size 20 with the body wrap, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. And I've never tied it in a 14. We're going to wrap this thread all the way back to just to where the bend of the hook really kicks over, where it starts to loop around. If you go too far, you're going to be penetrating materials into the mouth of the fish, and when you do that, it tears it up. So next we're going to use Senyo's Wacko Hackle Rainbow Mix, and this comes in 4-strand or 5-strand rope, and then it's made up of these strands, which are actually 2 strands. Each one has got 2. I mean, I could spread that out some more. You see how it's got 2 little doodad majiggers in there, and then it's wrapped around a red core. But you just want one of these paired ropes. So I've got that right here, and then we're going to tie this into the back. Now I try not to tie in the part that's already separated. What I'll do is I'll twist it to kind of try to put it back together, and if you do something like that, just forget that exists. It's a big deal. You wasted like 25 feet of material. This stuff, I really like it for body wraps. Now there's midge braid that you can buy, but it's just not as thin as this is, and it's just, it makes it in a bunch of colors. I don't ever use any other colors, but it's great stuff to work with, I think. I thank you, Greg Senyo. So we're gonna wrap this. Now you can use the rotary function of your vise, but I would suggest, if you do use the rotary function, to make sure that you count how many turns you add to it. So, because every time you turn the vise, you're going to turn the thread as well. If you do, I've got 1. If I can wrap properly, clutch is a little tight. 2, 3. I'm going to unwrap that 3 times. Wrap it 1 more time. And then that gives me no added thread at the back of the bead here. Now when you cut these off, they're going to leave little nubs back there. It's okay, because you're going to cover it up with Senyo's Laser Dub. Now this is white laser dub. It's really cool stuff. It's a little bit more coarse than superfine. You can use superfine, you can use any dry fly dubbing, you can use any white dubbing for that matter. But this is it's just a good consistency, and it's got little, I don't know if you can see those little UV things in there. They're like little bluish purple, and I feel like it makes it look more white than what it it is. So what we're gonna do here is tie in, or make a noodle, and then I gotta go thin. There's a microphone right there, and I keep smacking it. Okay, so we're gonna start there, tighten it up a little bit just in front of the point of the hook, and then you're gonna build a little taper. Now you build the taper in the noodle itself, and notice how I'm not twisting it really tight. I just want it to get on the thread, and I don't want it to, like, if you keep twisting it, sometimes you'll pull it off of the thread and just twist it around itself, and that makes a little rope, and that's no bueno. And I'll show you here, since I've got extra. If you get this around there, if you go and twist it, see how you're making two individual ropes? Not what you want. It's okay, because that's just my extra stuff. So I'm going to cut that off. And there is the almost finished product. Now you want to keep a collar in there just to give it kind of that pop, to separate the white from the white, and then the white from the darker colors of whatever you ended up with the Wacko Hackle. And I do that by adding just a couple extra whip finishes. So I'll whip finish twice, 3 times, or 4 times if I so desire. Get that a little tighter, and that's perfect. So there's going to be some stuff back here that's just hanging out. You can cut that off if you want to. I typically will leave it to where it's about the same length as the fly itself to veil that a little bit. Why? I don't know. I just like buggy stuff, I guess. That is a small killer. There you have it. That was the horse of a different color, and that fly in this episode kicks off like the new season, I guess. I don't exactly know what I'm doing back here, but I'm going to try to keep tying flies and showing you guys this stuff. Like I said, this might be the last time we're ever in this room, just because of noise, and I still have to run a shop. Anyway, like, share it. I've never even said that. Subscribe, like it, share it, throw it all over, plaster it all over Facebook. I don't care what you do with it, but I really want you to tie those flies and catch some fish with them. So